And Noah built an altar to the Lord and took every clean animal and every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. And the Lord said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake, although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done. So 8 people are on the planet. Imagine you're one of them, okay? This is you, your wife, your children. You have been spared. What's the first thing you do after you've been spared? You make an offering. You give an offering. Let me tell you something. If there was ever a time that you could make a valid excuse to not give an offering, this would be it. You've just saved these poor animals from global destruction. And they're like, quack, quack, yippee, yippee, yay, hallelujah, we're off the boat. And Noah says, can I borrow your neck? And you say, why? Talk about endangered species. They're advertising the koala bear is endangered now. They're saying a koala is endangered. How many? Thousands of koalas are around. We're down to the last 7. We're down to the last 7. 7 pairs. Could God not have said in the kindness of his heart, hold on, Noah, I don't think you have enough. I think you are in a very special case. We haven't had a situation like your situation before. No one's been as poor as you, Noah. You're down literally to the last 1 pair of unclean animals and 7 pairs of clean animals. So why don't you just not make an offering? We'll just relax about this and we'll wait it to multiply to thousands and then come back to me. It would make a lot more sense. I am the Lord your God. Could he say that? Sure. He didn't. He didn't. He said he accepted it and said, I like that smell. That's the smell of faith. I can smell faith coming from Noah. That's why I saved you, Noah. That's why I let the other ones rot. I let the other ones drown. But I saved you because you send me faith. All your offerings are by faith. Now think about it from God's perspective. If you're down to the last one, does God care? God says, I made them all. I made them all. If the dinosaurs go extinct, I can pick up the genetic information. I'll make them again. You like dinosaurs? I'll make them again. No problem for God. So God has no stingy, limited resource attitude. The more you know God, the more you realize this is from Karl Marx. It's communism. They always say there's not enough. It's more than enough water. It's more than enough air. It's more than enough gold. You know what is the second most abundant liquid on planet Earth besides water? Petroleum. We will never run out of petroleum. They said we'll run out in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, and they're still going. Haven't you caught up to the fact that they're lying to you? If you research this, you will find out that Rockefeller and these guys said there is so much oil. You know the first time they got oil in the Middle East? It was on the surface. Now they're drilling, God knows, I might get the number wrong, but I think it's 20 to 40,000 feet into the ground. And they're still getting oil. Do you know what that means? We're never going to run out. It's not just surface or middle layer or fossil layer. Do you understand that when you go beyond a certain level, there are no fossils? There are no fossils beyond a certain level. You look up the level yourself. That means oil is existing way beyond the fossil record. It's something way beyond what people think it is. It is the second most abundant liquid gift from God. And they're trying to fool us to say, oh, we will not have enough, so we got to now buy their unproven, unreliable green technology. Green for the green dough that they'll be bringing into their pockets. Such a lie. So many lies. Anytime you hear there's not going to be enough of something, it's usually engineered by man. Right now in Australia, we have a shortage of potatoes. That has to be engineered by man. There's got to be potatoes sitting in some warehouse rotting away, not being released. They increased the tax. They artificially limited the fertilizer. There are many ways they can play games with this. I know people who follow me are in all sorts of industries. I know someone at the top of the coconut market. And she's just told me a bank in London has bought up all the major coconut sellers in America and then stopped paying the suppliers. She's one of the suppliers. It's an engineered coconut shortage. She said, we're growing plenty of coconuts, but this bank came in, bought up all these coconut companies that are profitable, and suddenly say, we don't have money to pay you. How can a bank not have enough money to pay you? The price didn't change, nothing changed. She says, that's what's happening. She didn't use the word engineered, I'm going to use the word. That is man-made shortages. What's going on in the world? There are evil people in the world. But the shortage did not come from God. It did not come from a lack of coconuts. It came from some evil banker that is trying to control people. And Noah understood this, that we don't have a lack. We just watch everybody die. We just watch the whole world die. We just watch most of the animals perish. And Noah had enough faith to say, well, Mrs. Noah, we'll still have 6 left to eat and raise. Let's give the best to God. Mrs. Noah would say, are you sure, Mr. Noah? Are you sure? Because we have a lot of mouths to feed here. We got 8 people to feed, and we are starting from nothing. Mr. Noah said, we're not starting from nothing. We're starting with faith in God. If it looks like you have absolutely nothing left, but you got God, you have enough. You can rebuild. I watched my dad rebuild. I have had to rebuild in life. You live long enough, you're going to go through some challenges and some dry seasons. I've also watched people fall apart. I've watched people commit suicide. I've watched people become drunks and never recover because they have a loss. The difference is faith. The difference is not, is there enough stuff in the universe? There's too much. There are too many planets. There are too many stars. There's too much of everything. If we have faith and if we honor God, we will have that abundance. Not just to enrich ourselves like this so-called prosperity gospel, but to have more than enough for ourselves and others and the work of God, and to sow seeds and to save and to spend. As long as you got a plan, God can bring it to you. But I tell you what, people who don't even calculate their 10% tithe, don't calculate their offering, they don't have a plan. And you should know enough that people who win the lottery, the majority of them go broke within 5 years. That tells me it's not a money issue. It's not a resource issue. It is a mentality issue. If you have faith, you'll begin to plan, you begin to honor God, and then you will know what to do with the rest of the money. The Bible says that the Lord smelled a soothing aroma, and then the Lord responded. So there's something about the prophetic act. Having some physical action to your faith matters to God. He didn't say before the offering, Noah, don't worry about it. You've been traumatized. I'm never going to rain 40 days and 40 nights over the earth again and flood the earth. Don't worry about it. I just want to make sure that you're mentally healthy. This is Australian language now. Everything is about mental health. I want to make sure, Noah, that you're mentally healthy. God said, I got nothing to say until you give me a prophetic act. So if the windows of heaven seem bronze or brass to you, think of a prophetic act. Philippians 4 verse 18. Take a look at this. What does it mean, sweet smelling? Did you know Paul refers to this? Indeed, he says, indeed, I have all and abound. I am full, having received from Epaphroditus the things sent from you, a sweet-smelling aroma, an acceptable sacrifice, well-pleasing to God. So first of all, there goes the theory that God doesn't care about things. It says, God accepted and was pleased by the things you sent to me. What kind of things would you send to a man of God in prison? At the time he's writing this, he's sitting in jail. What could you send to a man in jail? Clothes? Writing instruments? Parchments? Papers? Money? Blankets? Pillows? Guess what? Chocolates? Food? Maybe a bottle of Mediterranean wine. Why not? Things become a sweet-smelling aroma to God. He cares about things. Don't forget, God made things. And when things are offered to another human being in faith, Jesus even said, "You did it to me." And then we say, "When did we ever do it to you? We thought you didn't care about things." He said, "Remember the thing that you gave to that care group leader. Remember the thing you gave to that person in hospital. It was as if you did it for me. Thank you." Imagine Jesus thanking you. You can prepare for that. You can get that ready. But you have to treat the offerings of the Lord as holy. And the offerings are not just mere words. Not just, "Well, I love you, Lord. There you go. There's my offering. I love you." There's no such thing as God having your love and your heart, but He doesn't have your money and your things. That is not taught at all in the Bible, whether in the Old or in the New Testament, or in eternity. It's just never going to be. We are going to be offering things to the Lord, and prophetic acts refer to things that we do.
End Time University is a comprehensive online school. This will prepare you for the last days in the shortest amount of time. Over the course of this year-long program, you will gain the necessary tools and skills for what the Bible promises will come in the book of Revelation. ETU has a world-renowned faculty that have joined together to instill their many decades of Bible knowledge into this concise course. Visit endtimeuniversity.online to find out more about this amazing course. This program is made possible by friends and partners of Discover Ministry. Enroll now and learn together from Pastor Steve Cioccolanti and other anointed well-known speakers around the world. Join an international online church community that's tuned into prophecy. Become an active collaborator. Choose care groups and discipleship paths designed for your spiritual growth and get involved in daily prayer, all in one app. You'll also get full weekly sermons uncensored by big tech. Ministry partners can download our app now at discoverchurch.online. That's discoverchurch.online. Activate your faith and let's meet online.